Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to join the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on Facebook and Twitter. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Slick James Johnson, Ranty Flat Earth, and Paul. Shout out to Colin Turner for hitting the super chat. Welcome, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hey Nathan, before you get into housekeeping, I can't be on very long. I wanted to bring up just something maybe for future conversation. Obviously, I was on vacation last week, so that's why I couldn't be on the show. But I did make an observation that we went to Jamaica for my company provided a vacation for us, and one thing I noticed, and I asked the Jamaicans this for sure, but they don't have any tidal, like tides. They don't have it there at all. So there's something as an interesting observation according to the heliocentric model. If it's caused by moon's gravitational force, it should be all over, but Jamaica has no tides.
Pretty crazy.
I know, ain't it though? And we watched it. We were there for like 5 days, and we were, the ocean stayed at the same level the whole time we were there. So it doesn't exist.
Bizarre. Right, let's do a bit of housekeeping then. Any signs of Earth curvature?
I haven't experienced any.
I haven't seen any.
Paul?
Nope. I didn't even see none in Jamaica. They don't have it down there either.
Jamaica. What about axial rotation? Any signs of that?
No experience of that either.
I haven't seen any of that either.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Same answer.
Same answer.
No scientific evidence of gravity. Fair enough. What about the distance to the sun? Any signs of that?
I have my same. The sun is where it needs to be for my experience.
Excluding experience, I haven't got any answer for that, Nathan, other than we don't know how far the sun is. Who even knows if it's real?
It's definitely real, we can see it, but what it is a different story. What about any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
Can you say that backwards?
Backwards? Any evidence that the presupposed spherical Earth has a molten iron core at the centre of it?
It's just a belief.
Absolutely. But I hold out so much hope, Slick, that somebody will show us that molten iron core. No? What about evidence that we can have a gas pressure without a container for all the heliocentric idiots that believe there is a vacuum next to the gas pressure we all breathe?
Just said the magic word, believe.
Last but not least, any evidence of the R value? Earth radius?
Nothing.
What would be the would it be the F value? Any proof of F? now? Is this what the Globers would have to say if they were trying to say, what's the proof of a flat Earth?
Sure, my response is, the Earth is obviously and observably flat, as admitted by many a heliocentric priest.
Anyway, congratulations, Nathan.
Thank you very much, and thanks to all the people in the chat saying congratulations. Really appreciate it. She's fast asleep right next to you.
Are you going to tell us the name of the baby?
Clover.
Clover?
Yep, Clover. Clover.
Just one name. You've not got a middle name with it as well.
No, don't bother with middle names. So it's just Eleanor Oakley and Clover Oakley. How you doing, UK Truth?
Hi Nathan, congrats.
Good to have you.
Yeah, congratulations, Nathan. I didn't get a chance to tell you that on the Skype.
Thank you very much. Really do appreciate it.
I did get some beautiful. Oh, I'm sorry, Slick.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's okay.
I got some beautiful shots of a flat water sunset with, sun going all the way to the horizon. Some beautiful shots. I'll try to post them when I get a chance, or share them when I get a chance.
Excellent. Yes, please. I was watching a Top Gear excerpt today where they went to Botswana. How you doing, Arwin? Good to have you.
Hello.
And one of the things that James May said during this Botswana crossing, so they're going across, or was it Bolivia? I forget. In any event, they're travelling across a great big massive salt flat in these cars. And when they get halfway across, James May says, you can see the curvature of the Earth while he's on the ground looking at these salt flats. Hey, my warped mind and Chocolate saying.
Yo, Cheddar.
Good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello, good to have you. You've got your watch page playing again, my warped mind. I've only said it 891 times or whatever it is. Mute your watch page.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's Clover doing?
She'll wake up at some point, and if she does, I'll stick her on camera.
Awesome.
So yeah, just
So what about the complex?
Amuses me that they can say that they can see Earth curve from the ground, on Top Gear, and you're just like, did a producer tell him to say that, or did he genuinely think that he was looking at Earth curve from the ground across these salt flats?
Yeah, I know. It's pretty crazy. We've been parasailing too, and even up probably 50 or 60 feet, or who knows how high. Still nothing. It's pretty crazy, but you could see for miles and miles and miles on that beautiful Jamaican water. So
it's like this in the videos. I mean, even Jeremy Clarkson at one point said the flat horizon was interrupted because they're travelling across this like dried up lake, and oh dear. And when they get to the islands that would have been in the lake, the way he phrased it was, the flat horizon was interrupted, or words to that effect. I can't exactly remember the exact phrase, but essentially what he's saying is, it looks completely flat until you see an island in the distance coming up over the horizon. And Clarkson's view was to say that it looks perfectly flat, and every piece of footage that they showed it completely flat.
yeah, I know, it's crazy. I couldn't take my P900, and obviously we didn't have a lot of time anyway, so I couldn't do a whole lot, so I was using my phone. But still, it was beautiful. So I'll share them with you when I probably may not be today because I got to get off here in a minute, but I'll share them with you guys a little bit, maybe tomorrow or something, some of the shots I got.
Cool. That's my favourite bit of the show, when people bring basically their holiday snaps of really cool horizons, because it's epic, right? It's beautiful. We live in a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Hey, Nathan, before you move into your next segment, I want to make a quick statement, just whenever you get a chance.
Go ahead, Slick. There is no segment.
Okay. I want to send a shout out to this guy. I just sort of ran into him Saturday. His name is Democ or Democ, something like that. Demmoch. Man, he came on Discord and wore out the whole room, led by Jim Panda. He tore them all up. I mean, it was just the most exquisite thing that I've seen. And not only did he wear them out, but he called them every name in the book in the process of doing it. In other words, you know how Globers get when they start, attacking you and calling you all kinds of names. Well, not only did he devastate their argument, but he out-trolled them at the same time. Man, my hats off to this guy. Definite
Cool.
big shout out, D-Mock. This guy
What's his
is
name
awesome.
again? What's his name again?
It's DEMMOCH.
Democ. Shout out to Leonardo Gonzalez for the super chat. Says congratulations on your new baby.
I
Thank
know
you very much.
them is good peeps.
Although he's called me Anthony
Shout
for
out
some
to
reason.
them.
Very good.
And I really enjoyed it because it turns out that Jim Panda is really a character. So really kind of watching him get destroyed like that was I was laughing so hard. I can't even tell you the last time that I laughed that hard at the same time watching somebody deliver a devastating argument.
Can you remember any of the specifics of the arguments that were devastating?
Well, what he was doing was he was just doing what, how typical Globers are with their non-evidence. They just couldn't run anything past him. Everything that they tried to run past him, he caught it and just ripped it apart and called them every name in the book in the process. I wish I could have had it recorded. It was just unbelievable.
Cool.
Absolutely amazing.
Very cool.
I liberated them on every point.
I'd love to see it. Hopefully we'll get to meet this chap.
Yeah, hopefully. That was all.
Flat Earthers are kicking ass at the moment.
Yeah, and what, like I said, what made it so interesting is that was his first time. That was his first time on that Discord. It's not like he's a regular. He just came out of the blue.
Shout out to
You reckon we'll get Wiggles in tonight?
Oops. Shout out to Rebel Rob TV for the super chat. Thank you very much indeed. Say again, my what mind?
I was just saying, do you think Wiggles is going to come and say good day?
I honestly don't know.
He's such a troll, that guy.
Well, Arwen was saying he's psychotic on account of the fact that even though in the face of devastating arguments, he'll still proceed with the same exact argument. I don't know why you used the word psychotic, but that was the word you used, Darwin.
Right, because he no longer understands the normal logical consequences of things. He loses track over reality, how it actually functions in the process, and that is psychosis. Just doesn't understand literally what he's doing anymore. See? He's doing it, but he's
Did he
losing his
understand it
focus
in the
as
first
he
place,
does it.
though? That's the question. Did he understand in the first place?
Well, he thought he understood it, but he was basically just following scripture. And then eventually, when he's actually tested and understanding it, he just loses track.
Shout out to Sean Tibbets.
He comes across to me as narcissistic and arrogant. Just here to really just talk shit, basically. Yeah.
Arrogant, yes. Narcissistic, no. Narcissistic means lack of empathy. It wasn't that he didn't empathise.
Yeah. I was going along with the
Well,
lines
the last couple of times he came in, he kind of had a strategy, right? Like he came in and tried to get Nathan on a couple of gotchas, right? So he tried to, I don't know, kind of formulate or try to have Nathan formulate some type of affirming the consequence by, saying that, I forget what he did. It was something about like the F value, some crap like that. He did the last time he was here. And then the other day,
I saw him.
right. And then the other day he tried to, kind of catch Nathan on, claiming that's a barrier, but renaming it as a dome. It's like, what are you doing? why are you trying?
I saw was him trying to do angular effect with a Rubik's Cube. And Nathan was explaining it to him, and he just wouldn't. Yeah, I had to leave. I couldn't put up with him.
Yeah, Ranty did a good job over the weekend. So Ranty was also talking. It's weird because Ranty hadn't actually seen the debate prior to that. He came out with it off the back of Rory. But it was just weird coincidence that on a pre-recorded show that went out the same day as Ranty doing his piece, that we ended up with a really nice, two-pronged attack from both Ranty and the debate, where we're pointing out that there's no perspective in the calculator. Not that we haven't pointed this out hundreds of times before, literally hundreds of times. But yeah, it was just nice that we're both attacking it. Slightly different approaches from both of us, but Ranty was absolutely on point. Obviously, I was right on point.
If you say so.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, there's no
Hey guys,
perspective.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to cut. I'll enjoy you guys. I'll try to jump on sometime either tomorrow or next day. See you guys.
Thank you, Paul. Look forward to seeing your
Take it
pictures.
easy.
All right, later, Paul.
Yeah, it just beggars belief, really. These people aren't keeping up to date with the flat Earth debate if they're to assert that perspective is included in the calculations. Hey, Jose.
How you doing?
Very good. How are you?
Hey,
Hey,
It is
I
fun
just
though,
came
though
in-
when they.
I'm sorry, yeah. I came in for two little details. I'm just gonna take me a minute. First, congratulations from my wife and myself, Nathan, on your baby, because that's it's a blessing. So congratulations on that, big time.
Thank you very much.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much of an a-hole you are, but that's something had nothing to do with it. I'm sorry, I have to do it. And Slick, number two, that was the last second point. You are full of shit. Sorry for the shit part, because that one kid that came into the Discord, I was there for the whole interaction. He came in hot, just trolling, name calling, don't letting anybody talk, interrupted a conversation, and he just took over the whole room. But like insulting and saying the C word and the N word and you A and you F this, like he didn't let anybody speak. Jim Panda felt the only thing he could do was kick him out of the room, and then it was peace again. It's like me, if I just start talking and insulting every single one of you, pointing names, you are this, you are that, that would be horrible. So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you and congratulations again, Nate.
Just like to point out that Jose has come in and called me an asshole. Just want to point that out to the audience. Thank you, Jose. You stupid idiot.
Then I would also like to respond by saying that Jim Panda was in control of the mute button. So the guy wasn't just in there just doing his own thing. Jim Panda was muting him at every turn, and it still didn't help him. He still wore Jim Panda out. And then what happened was when he would unmute him, then when Denmark started talking, Jim Panda would overtalk him. So that's how that.
Thanks, Jose.
Sorry. Yeah, all right. I gotta get out of here. The plain truth will be on with me later. See you later, guys.
Take it easy, Jose.
Nathan, are you guys having a baby or you've had a baby?
Yeah, just 2 days ago, so 13th.
Oh, congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.
Is that your third?
Second.
Second. Cool. Vasectomy now or no, another one?
Say again.
I've got 3.
I don't know if I want a third one, because this is the second C-section. my
yeah,
wife said.
come on. Come
I
on.
don't know. Let's see how we
You
get
gotta
on.
have 10 kids, 10 girls. Come on, you can
Do it.
This one's totally different. So the first was really, really loud, quiet, like crying, constantly crying. She still like it now. Whereas this one has hardly made a sound the entire time. I kid you not.
Awesome.
Yeah,
so
very much so. We were
this
praying,
one's easier.
please
You'll have a
God,
third.
send us one that sleeps.
Well, it's probably because your first kid always has the most ancestral memories.
Maybe.
So they're going to be the most troubled in relating to other progeny after that.
Are you saying
Apparently.
genetically, firstborn child's got more memory of past events?
No, as ancestral imprinted memory. It's a thing. Weird.
Kind of
First
like
child.
DNA memory. Is that what you meant?
Yes. Well, it just has the most impact and the most imprint because of that. Because it is very... Look, getting your first child is like a giant experience, just like falling really in love the first time. It's incredible what that does. And it causes, apparently, more imprint to happen. So...
That sounds cool. Yeah.
It's very ethereal, but it is said that the first child always gets more ancestral memories than the rest of them.
We're actually proving that DNA actually has memory, which aids in evolution.
Well, it's not necessarily the DNA, that's what I'm saying. It's more about that it's the first child and the experience and energies that come with that. So during that energy transfer. There's just more imprinted. It's more like spiritual memory, almost, you could say. It's complicated.
I reckon it's also like when you have your first child, you're like really protective and you like nurture the first
Yeah.
one. Then the second one, you're just like, you're right, just lay there, shut up. No. Joking, I'm not that bad.
It depends on the kid.
Well, it was the same with me. I was a very not screamy, cryy child, and I was the second child. And my brother, I don't know, he was okay. He did scream a little bit more as a baby, apparently. I don't know, this is just going all over the place.
Yeah, well,
Just saying,
after
it's
3, I
the
came
same.
up with a little
First
lie.
child have
It's,
more spiritual burdens.
Yeah, well, I reckon after 3, it's a vasectomy for me. A little bit of a poem there.
To bring the subject back onto flat Earth a bit, so where do you think this is going? So at the moment we're in a situation where we've got quite a few flat earthers asserting the reality that the geometric calculations don't include perspective and in fact are hijacking them, and we've got idiots like this Rory guy saying, oh, of course it includes perspective, and getting proved wrong at every turn. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think they'll just keep asserting, we don't need perspective?
You're forgetting one. There's also Rumpus and others, remember? The premiere that I did, that claim it doesn't include perspective, but it doesn't need to. Because they work around that somehow and then suggest, oh, look, you can use it for a viewing function. So it's almost like the same concept as, but the gas pressure can be next to the vacuum because gravity is holding it there. It's on that level. And Rumpus does literally say that. He said that repeatedly. It doesn't need to have a viewing function, even though they're comparing the results with actual pictures, thus applying a viewing function. They claim they can just do that. That's all right.
They can do it. And what they're doing is they're taking viewing functionality, which includes perspective, and calling it Earth curve by putting it inside elevation, reifying an R value, and ignoring the actual effects of things disappearing with distance. That would be perspective, and calling it geometric only Earth curve, not viewing functionality. That's what the calculator does. And as Wiggles put it, I'm just calculating the height. Well, what about the fact that things disappear? Oh, well, I'm going to pick something that's big enough that won't disappear. Oh, so things could disappear, Wiggles, but those aren't the things you'll measure. Right, okay. So we've definitely got the case where things disappear with distance, but that's going to be ignored. It's not necessary according to Rumpus. Yeah, it is. That's reality. That's perspective. We don't see geometrically. We see with perspective.
And it's proven.
If they don't believe in it,
and we proved that it can be used like that as well. With the earlier, this is some time ago, half a year or more, when we compared the orthographic view of an obstruction of a certain height, and then took another obstruction, like a piece of wood, of twice the height, and then compared it geometrically from an orthographic view, how it should line up with a camera, and what should be seen and not. And then you showed it how it actually looks in the setup with a real camera. And it didn't match because it was a viewing function, a perspective was applying, and that yields different results than an orthographic geometrical line and all that. It doesn't work the same. And we proved that. So every time you're going to have an orthographic view and trying to then compare that to something with a viewing function, you already know it doesn't match because we proved that.
Yeah, viewing is what we're doing. We're comparing it to a view. So this calculator, according to Rumpus, isn't performing viewing functionality. Well, what are we doing when we look at a picture? Is that viewing functionality? Absolutely. Does it include perspective? Absolutely. Does it include the diffraction limit? Absolutely. Are any of those things included in the geometric only calculator for Earth curve? No. All of those effects are what is called Earth curvature.
Declared.
Maybe they should just call it Super Muppet Vision.
What is Muppet vision? But it's good to emphasize why it is so different, and then just calling it a geometrical view or orthographic view. That's very relevant to conceptualize what it really is compared to real sight and perspective and all that.
I was wondering if we could, I don't know if you guys would be keen, making some kind of GoFundMe to maybe get a weather balloon going, because I was researching, they're only like $300 or $400, and then try and mount a camera. Obviously, we can't use a little sports camera because they're all fisheye lenses. I don't know what you'd recommend, but I'd be keen to set something like that up.
I mean, the bottom line, I don't know if Arwin actually asked this question or if I misheard. Did you say, what is Muppet vision?
Me?
Yeah, maybe I just misheard.
Muppet vision is the orthographic view setup, right?
So I just want to explain what that is to some of the audience that may or may not understand. So orthographic view is side elevation. So, hey,
Mario
Glenn,
World view.
Hey, Ken, how you doing? Ken Gleck, is it?
Hey, Nathan.
Hello, good to have you.
Doing well.
So a side elevation is just, if you imagine you've got on screen now the left-hand extremity of the screen and the right-hand extremity of the screen, and you draw a little man on the left and a little Rubik's Cube on the right, and the distance is, let's just say for the sake of argument, 5 miles from left to right on this page. So just so it's got some sort of visual representation. So here's a little man, and then across the other side of the page in side elevation you've got the thing you're targeting, and you can draw a straight line between one and the other. Hey, Flat on Earth, how you doing?
Hello, morning.
Hello. So if you can draw a straight line between you and the Rubik's Cube in orthographic view, that orthographic view is telling you that you can see the Rubik's Cube. Now in reality, at 5 miles, the Rubik's Cube is too small to see, but what they do is they take that straight line and say, well, on a flat Earth, you'd see the Rubik's Cube at 5 miles. Now what we're going to do is take the fact that the Rubik's Cube has disappeared because it's too small to see, and put a side elevation curve between you and the Rubik's Cube, and say that the Rubik's Cube isn't disappearing because it's too small to see, it's disappearing because there's a curve in the way, and the curve they'll show you will be a side view of the curve, because it's a geometric only perspective exclusive calculation. That's why you see side view, and why they claim you can see forever on a flat plane, because in their calculations, geometric only, when you compare that and put the line as a flat line, they say, oh, well, you can see this Rubik's Cube at 5 miles. There you go. Why can't we? Well, because it's too small to see. No, it's simple geometry. It's the curve of the Earth in the way.
Yeah, that's lunacy. Still
It
the
is.
way I
Yeah,
see that.
That story is getting so old about the, declaration of the curve. It's like, man.
Still being declared, though.
They gotta hold on, Slick. They gotta hold on to it, brother. I mean, what are they gonna do if they don't hold on to that? A ball needs a curve. A ball needs some type of curvature. We still haven't found that yet, so they're still scrambling for it. So that's quite
that would
unfortunate.
definitely explain the desperation.
So someone in the chat, Be Rational, says, the side view isn't straight lines. You can calculate the angular size. Oh, it's moving too fast. We're not working with small cubes. We're looking at boats, buildings, and mountings. Yeah, but if a small cube will disappear at a given distance, Be Rational, so will a boat at a further distance, and so will a building at an even greater distance. But according to geometry, if you've got a flat line, doesn't matter how far that line extends, you can draw another flat straight line on top of it 3,000 miles to your Rubik's Cube and still have your eye meet the Rubik's Cube. Now, according to your geometry maths, you just stick a little curve between you and the thing that's disappeared and say that's what's caused it to go, the obstruction of Earth curve, ignoring the fact that you can't see a Rubik's Cube at 5,000 miles. But in geometry you can. And when you put an Earth curve in the way, well, that's the reason it's gone, isn't it? Earth curves got in the way in side elevation when ignoring all factors of perspective and comparing it to pictures like on screen now, where perspective is absolutely the case. This twig in the near foreground is not the size of the mountain. Yeah? It's tiny. It's a tiny little twig. It just happens to be closer.
You know, and the thing is, as clear and concise as you just explained that, he didn't hear a word you said. He's got a big brick wall in front of him that blocked every single word that you just said. As much sense as it made, he didn't hear one word of it.
No, they just keep on asserting we need geometry. Hello, Soundly's Heroes. How you doing?
All right.
Good to have you.
Right. Good to be here.
What can we do for you, Soundly's Heroes?
Oh, I just want to go through a little list of actions for things disappearing from the bottom up given by flat earthers. Are you ready?
Sorry, you want to do what?
You mean obstruction?
Yeah.
I didn't hear what he said.
The,
Say that again. You want to do what?
I want to go through some of the explanations given by flat earthers for saying why things disappear from the bottom up on the horizon.
Sorry, has anybody on the panel made any of these claims that you're about to use?
Oh, definitely. Are you
Right.
ready? Hold on to your seats. It's going to be fun. Number 1, perspective.
Are you
2,
snorting
angle of attack.
cocaine?
3, optical select. 4, Aries diffraction. 5, zone of invisibility. 6, circle of confusion. 7, ether band. 8, dirty air. 9, compression. 11,
Hey, buddy, you
reverse
want to
refraction.
talk like a
11,
human being?
conversion.
Hold on.
12, melting. 13, nature
Number
space.
10,
14,
breathing in
tidal
helium.
wars.
Hold
15,
on.
I think Soundly's
Sorry,
Heroes
guys,
is
can you stop
melting.
talking? Hold on.
17,
Hold, guys, why are you rumpusing him?
cleansing. 19,
He's melting.
light.
The
20,
globe is
angular
melting.
resolution.
Guys, can you stop
21,
this? Can you just let him
22,
talk?
diffraction limit. 23, non-uniform density transition zone. 24, curvilinear perspective. 25, curved eyeballs. 26, 3D
What
model
the-
plane clipping. 27, rotational foreshortening. Perspective diminishing. Personal domes, horizons.
Do you think you
mirroring,
really
31
sound like
water
that?
ramps. 33, cone
The way
vision.
you're saying it, we can't
34,
really make out what you're
opaque
saying
deck.
anymore.
Yeah, I know.
35, crowded light
Soundly's
rays, and
Heroes.
36,
Soundly's Heroes. Can you hear me?
bitches.
Can you hear me? What is your point?
Hello?
Clearly you didn't hear me. What
What
is your point?
2 minute thing?
Are you trying to get in the back panel to snipe us?
Soundly's Heroes, what was the point of all of that? Lots of things can cause things to be obstructed, that's correct.
He's gone, is he?
I don't know, still in the panel.
I can kick him.
No, keep him in.
We're going to get an answer? Hello, Soundly's Heroes, what was the point in any of that? Yes, lots of things can cause things to be obscured or disappear completely. Yes, that's absolutely correct. Did you have a point? Were you going to tell us that none of that's accounted for in your globe maths that only uses side elevation?
Is he even still here?
Still on the panel.
He may just have a case of random mouth disorder. That could be.
Yeah.
Too.
No,
Okay.
I think he's a troll and he's just trying to get in the back panel and taking a long time.
What they want to do,
snipe.
Arwin, is they want to say, you have blamed obstruction or disappearing items in the distance on the following things. And then he's listed them off. And while he's listing, I'm going, yeah. But what they want is us to come up with total bullshit that is the equivalent of their total bullshit.
He's
So
gone.
when they assert it's simple geometry, only the side elevation and only the perspective excluding maths that causes obstruction, they want us to say, oh, it's F that causes it. They want an equivalent to their total bullshit. A simple one fix solution. Blame R. And because we say, well, there's more to it. When we covered this with Life is Short on Ranty's show, it took 6 hours to detail all of the different things that cause things to disappear. There's loads, absolutely tons, and none of them are accounted by the Earth maths. So, Soundly's Heroes, congratulations for demonstrating a massive list of all of the things not accounted for in your globe maths. Well done. Good point.
Ranty, did you snipe him out?
Me? No.
Oh, somebody did. Did you, Nathan?
No.
He
No, I
dropped
just
and
took him
then
out
somebody
after-
sniped him out.
If I snipe anybody, you can see it on screen. So you see my mouse move across. So I'm not actually gonna, but you know, you can see me going over Slick's eject button. Not that I'm going to eject you, Slick, but just so you know, if I eject somebody, the audience definitely knows about it.
Okay. Well, I think Flat Earth just said he did it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, after he dropped, I took him out of the back chat just in case.
Oh, I see. So
But
you just
maybe
stopped
he
him
just
from
had
sniping
connection
us.
problems. So
Either way, I'm sure he's got plenty of sock accounts.
Sounds like he's got lots of problems.
Well,
oh,
he
he
just
was
wants.
literally melting.
He wants a
melting
single
like a wicked
equivalent.
witch.
That's all he wants, a single equivalent to what they blame. They blame R. They want us to have a single thing that it could say, it's not F. Well, there isn't one. There isn't a single thing that we blame as a begging the question fallacy, like you do. So Globeheads just blame R. No, we actually have gone out and had a look. So when Ranty looks at the horizon and goes, here, look at this mirage, you guys go, ha ha, Earth curve. Oh, right, really? No. Well, that's all you'll ever blame. One-trick ponies with geometric calculation. Sad.
So, guys,
Shout out
I
to
kind of wanted to.
Shout out to FE Diplomat for the super chat. Really appreciate your support. Thank you very much indeed. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. So what I wanted to talk about, I only got 15 minutes. I just wanted to talk about the whole the needing a container, and how exactly, or what exactly it is out there, I guess. And I just wanted to kind of clarify and understand what you guys believe, and then kind of like say what I think is what's happening, and see if we agree.
Who cares?
So
Does it matter what I believe the sky is? Does that matter? What I think the sky is? Is that relevant to anybody?
it doesn't matter. So
No, it doesn't
so
matter.
just the
What you believe
facts
the sky
matter.
is? Are you a globehead, Ken?
No, I'm a flat earther. Flat earther, have been for about 3 years. One of my best friends, I was a Navy guy, so my best friend says, "Let me tell you about flat Earth." I'm like, "Dude, I sailed around it, you know." And he's like, "Well, try to prove me wrong." And at that time, I saw the 200 proofs, and then some Eric DeBay stuff, and then I've just kind of, I mean, I have no doubt it's flat at this point, but it's been kind of a fun adventure. But I work a lot with vacuums. I do heating and air conditioning, and I use vacuum pumps to pump vacuums on cooling systems and stuff. And from what I see, like I see people starting to get caught up on units of measurement. For instance, like we can all agree that a perfect vacuum is a theoretical. It can't be obtained. Everybody agrees on that, I think. So if you go down to sea level and you take barometric pressure, you get 29.92. Or if you're measuring it in PSI, you get 14.7. And if you go up the barometric pressure, if it ever gets to zero, or if the 14.7 PSI of atmosphere ever gets to zero, that is a perfect vacuum and is impossible. So technically, everything we see is going to be in our atmospheric pressure, because we can never obtain a perfect vacuum. Am I right on that?
Yeah, you are.
And the container would have to be past everything we see.
Yeah. Arwen said this the other day while Wiggles was trying to pin me to claiming there's a dome when I have no idea what is containing the pressure. I just know that pressure needs a container. Doesn't mean I know what the sky is.
I just wanted to verify that's what I see, is that some people are trying to say that vacuum sucks, and I'm like, no, vacuum can't act upon pressure. Like, pressure always acts upon vacuum, and all it really is the lack of atmosphere. It's not a negative. If it was a negative, we'd be in a perfect vacuum.
Right on. Hey, physics.
So that's all
Hey,
I wanted
Nathan.
to know, and see what you
Hello.
guys thought about that, and if you agreed with me.
So far, so good. It's only at the point that I get frustrated where people speculate. You know, the sky is ether, the sky is a dome, the sky is a plasma layer. It's like, how the hell do you know? You have no idea. Just accept that you don't know. I can
Absolutely.
disprove
And
that it's a
I also
vacuum.
think that the pressure's up there. I mean, there's no way we can operate in them. If you don't have any atmosphere, there's no way to act against anything to get any movement. I don't even know how energy would transfer from the sun to here if there's nothing in between us. None of it makes any sense to me.
I agree. And you can still say exactly that and point out the flaws in the current narrative without having to make a single assertion. I know, don't get me wrong, Arwin, I'm picking on you a little bit here, but, you know, Arwin likes to make assertions and speculate. The difference being to most globeheads is he will put that disclaimer in at the beginning. This is my speculation. This is what I think it might be. Well, yeah, I can get frustrated with it, but he's entitled to his opinion, right? He doesn't have to adhere to anything in terms of what his opinion about what the world is. That's entirely his bag.
We're hearing a lot of background noise. Are you in a car or something?
Yeah, hold on. I'll mute myself. Hold on.
Oh, it's Ken.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I just don't like people speculating when the speculation is wild. You know, at the very least, disclaim that it's speculation if it is speculation.
What I've been experiencing from Globe people is that when you make a statement, and I'll use you for an example, Nathan, like when you make a statement that we have gas pressure, well, what they have to do is rearrange what you said so that they can argue with the rearrangement. So they accuse you of claiming a dome so that they can argue against the dome when you never said that in the first place. So that's what they do. They take what you said, rearrange it their way, and then they argue with that.
Yeah, it's called
What other choice do they have, man? They don't have any other choice. This argument is devastating for them. And it's becoming problematic. So they have no choice but to attack it in any way they can. So to say, keep saying people, it's a dome, it's a dome. Well, nobody's saying it's a dome. They're just saying there needs to be a barrier. That's it.
Right. So like I said, what they do is they have to rearrange what you said. And one of the other problems that I noticed that Globe people have is that whenever there's a conversation, well, they've already declared themselves the winner before the conversation started because they claim logic and reason and all of that for their side. So if you have something that's different, then you have to be illogical. See what I'm saying? So they already have declared themselves the winner. And when you come back with a devastating argument, they can't handle that because they've already declared themselves the winner. How could you possibly win when they've already declared themselves?
Yeah, you know why that is though, because in their minds, the sphere Earth is a done deal. It's accepted. It is what it is, and that's what they genuinely believe. So if you start from the position that, well, obviously it's a globe, you end up like Gary Awesome. Do you remember that, Ranty?
Yeah.
Well, if you start from the position that we already know it's a globe, thicko, well then you would very quickly find your ass handed back to you on a plate by someone like me, or someone like Ranty, or someone like anybody on the panel for that matter. Yeah, just the automatic assumption that it is a globe because we've been told so. So, well, why would you even question this? We know it's a globe already. So I'm going to start my assertion knowing I'm right. Well, no, you're not, Johnny Globehead. You've just been lied to, and you've accepted it, and you're too stupid to realise it. Tough luck. How many people we got watching?
And are you trust?
Got nearly 280 people watching this, you know. No pressure.
280 people watching the globe get destroyed.
Noticed you were in Owen Benjamin's chat yesterday, Arwin.
Yeah. Yeah, I get greeted a lot by people when I speak up in there. It's hilarious.
He did a really good little piece a couple of days ago on psychopaths, and I don't know if anyone's been watching me for a while, they know that's a subject that I've covered in the past, and I enjoy that subject. And he just did it better. I hate Owen Benjamin sometimes because he's ace, right? But he basically took a section of Seinfeld that somebody had taken the laugh track off and showed them for what they were, pure psychopathy. And it was just, I've never watched Seinfeld, you know, throughout my my life I've gone on again, off again with TV. So, you know, when Seinfeld was around, I didn't have a TV. I think I was in college with no TV. So I never watched it. Not that it would probably have appealed to me anyway, but the fact that he was there without the laugh track, and it was me watching some of these scenes for the very first time, and the psychopathy is just so prevalent. It's just like, wow, did people actually not pick up on this when it was going out with a laugh track? And that was kind of his point. You know, but obviously it's hard for me to relate, having not watched it initially with a laugh track. But yeah, really eye-opening to know how they're programming us. And he kind of detailed it. Obviously, this is his bag because it's comedy. But he's talking about how, you know, when they originally introduced the canned laughter, it was good jokes, it was good gags. And slowly over time, the gags have been removed, the narrative's been put in place, and the gag track is all there. Canned laughter is the only thing that's remained. So you end up convincing yourself that you should be laughing to something that's just depraved.
Yeah, I think sometimes Owen does make some good points. I really like his views on free speech. Speech is never hurting anybody. You know, it really sucks that people are trying to limit speech.
Yeah, and based on...
My bad, bro. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. No, I was just going to say that, right, that statement is correct, because information is just information. The problem comes in when people start trying to tell you what you have to do with that information. And that's the thing about belief. Like, people will accuse me of just taking information for what it is without putting some type of you know, thing on it. So if I can't verify something, it's just information, and information doesn't harm anybody.
Right, which is why I don't understand why they're censoring so many things on YouTube and all over the internet. I mean, it's just information. If I want to believe that the earth is flat, why is that hurting anybody? I'm not forcing anybody else to believe it, you know? It's a strange world we live in.
I'm going to read out Burnt Toast's comment. Nathan Oakley, we need to come up with a map instead of debating the same things day in, day out. Come on, dude, please. Sorry, why do we need a map exactly?
You said we need a what?
We need a map. Well, and the
Apparently.
funny thing too is they want to pick apart a flat model, but if you look at any globe in a classroom, the distances and sizes of the oceans and continents aren't exactly. So, like, I don't know, it's just ridiculous how they want to pick apart our model, but their models don't work either.
Right, you've seen the West Wing piece where they're explaining to a couple of, I think they're lawyers, about the Gall-Peters and the Mercator projections of the Earth in terms of their landmass distortion. Well, we've got thousands of maps. Thousands! And this was the first thing I covered with Martin Leitke, so check out Flat Earth British, Martin Leitke channel, very, very good channel, covering mud floods and Antiquitech and all that sort of stuff at the moment. Grown massively as a result, so big shout out to Martin Leitke, Flat Earth British. But he and I covered exactly that. So he, before Flat Earth, was like, his nickname was Mappy Martin. He was obsessed with maps. So that's what we did. He and I covered that subject to a massive extent, looking at all the different maps, looking at all the different models, seeing which ones worked, seeing which ones didn't work. The bottom line is, none of them work. Not one.
Absolutely.
So if you want to show me a working globe model, you knock yourselves out, and then we'll have a little compare when you can show me one that's a working globe version. And every time somebody says, well, we've got a model, last person to do it was Brenda, well, let's have a look at it then. Go on then, let's see it. Oh, well, you've just got to picture a sphere in your mind. That's your model, picturing a sphere in your mind. Or they'll present you some mathematics. Here's our model for whatever specific detail you need.
Hey, Nathan, where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Birmingham.
Okay, so you're over in Europe?
Yeah, England.
Okay, cool.
I thought you meant like whereabouts in England. We had another guy, a fellow Birmingham resident called Tommy on, and whenever I get into a discussion with a fellow Brummie, it just brings out the Birmingham in me, so it ends up in swearing and shouting, and you know, it just brings it out in me. I can't help it.
Are you a soccer fan?
Not at all. No, not a sports fan. Sorry. Why'd you ask? Something relevant. Tag it on anyway.
No, I was just wondering, just curious. I've been listening to you for a while, and I never really picked up on where you're from.
Yeah, right in the middle of England, Warwickshire.
Just FYI, they call it football over there.
Right.
Yeah, a bit confusing with you guys in America. You've got your own version of football where you use hands, because that makes perfect sense.
Well, you guys calling it football makes more sense because that actually operated with the foot. Like us calling it football here just doesn't make any sense to me because we run with it in our hands. So yeah.
Yeah, we have that too. We call it rugby, but we don't have all the homosexual attire that you guys wear. We do it like men.
If you want a real sport, Aussie rules AFL football. No armour, full body contact, that's the best game.
Really weird. Over here, the rugby is played by the posh people, like the uber posh people. So they're all getting cauliflower ear and, you know, smashing each other with their studs. And then they go out and they talk really posh. Whereas the football, where they're paid millions, is the other way around. They're not at all posh in soccer, as you call it here in England. You know, they're your average Joes who are paid millions.
So what's the next topic?
Burnt Toast is putting some good comments up. We all know it's flat, so why are you still debating it? Well, because half the population, not even half the population, 99% of the population believe they are on a sphere. And on some rare occasions when we get into conversations like these, Burnt Toast, we'll get somebody of that belief come in and say, I think you guys need an explanation for your crazy belief that that it's not necessarily possible to have gas pressure next to a vacuum. So let me just explain that to you with my religious assertions. That's why we have the debate. We know it's over. We know there's no scientific evidence for gravity. We know there's no distance to the sun. We know that it's flat. But as for sort of
And it's fun.
Well, it is
it's
fun.
a lot of fun doing the debate too, you know?
Absolutely, it's good fun. Occasionally it gets frustrating when you're dealing with zealots, but you know, for me, the bit that is beneficial is the bit that Ranty's doing. You know, saying, okay, so we've been told that when stuff disappears at the horizon, hey, Rebel Bob, how you doing?
Doing fine, thanks.
Good to have you. You a globehead or a flat earther?
I'm a flat earther at the heart, man.
Fair enough. That's good and bad. We've got a full panel now. But yeah, Ranty's doing the bit where what has been formerly called simple geometry, Ranty's going to have a look. He knows it's not geometry. He knows it's not side elevation that he's looking at. He knows he's looking out across water with perspective and wants to know what's going on. Well, so do I. Does it mean that we have to care when they go, ha ha, Ranty's proved the globe again? No. All you've done is taken his observation of reality and compared it to geometric side elevation calculations. Proves nothing. But does that mean that Ranty should stop? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'd like to misrepresent it a lot, really. That's all they do, Dave. It's a hard pill to swallow for them when you're taking their proofies, their visual proofs, and you're ripping it a new one and saying, actually, it's not a visible proof of a globe. Actually, it's falls into perspective. And they absolutely hate that.
Yeah. Tim Osmond tried it, and then Soundly's Heroes, or whatever he was called, they go, well, here's all the list of things that you blame things disappearing into the distance on. Atmospheric conditions, perspective, the Rayleigh criterion. It's like, yeah. What's your point? All of these things can cause things to disappear. Yeah, they can. Demonstrably so. But are any of them included in the calculator? No. It's just simple geometry. We just stick it inside elevation, claim you can see forever on a flat plane, and then when you can't, we put a curve between you and the thing you can't see anymore. Forget the fact that it's too small to see. We've got it in side view and we just put a geometric curve between you and it. That's why you can't see it. It's simple geometry. Go in peace. In our you trust.
Do you think Rory's going to pay up?
Absolutely not.
£5,000? No, I don't.
I'll have a £5 bet with you that Rory is a lying, cheating scumbag and will pay not one dime to Zachary Zabala.
Oh, what about me?
You didn't get in there first. I said this on the pre-show.
Yeah, but mine's more concise.
If anyone's getting $5,000, it's Zach. Sorry, Ranty.
No.
No. I want that $5,000 that's never going to get to anybody's pocket ever. Okay.
I want to say, it's very... once this video's finished, and it should be up today, actually, it's going to be very... there's no wiggle room for him to lie about it. I mean, it's completely obvious that what he's asked can be proved, that the curve calculator doesn't include perspective. And if that's the case, he's made a big song and dance about paying £5,000 for anybody that can prove that the curve calculators don't include perspective. Well, I'm going to prove that today with a video. Now, I haven't seen Zach's video, so I'm not too sure about exactly what he's done. But I just know 100% that the video I put out later will, without a shadow of a doubt, prove that it doesn't include perspective.
And with that, I'm going to say, if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley stream, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. However, if you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley 1980 live stream, then a massive, huge, enormous thank you for tuning in, smashing the super chat, sharing, and all that good stuff. If you need something to keep you occupied after this live stream is over, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Massive thank you also to all of today's live panel for making this debate possible. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!